night in some very historical buildings that could have been people from other times and other places. But since I personally do not know anybody that I can honestly say has made the return trip back, I can't say what goes on that other side of the journey. But I just, from a personal standpoint, have a serious problem with people that want to believe that it's their way or the highway, because my feelings about the higher power, God and all, is that He created all of us, and He created us all in some form of His image and everything. So I can't see Him just making blanket statements to rule out large swaths of humanity because they didn't go His way and things of that nature. Just the logic of that to me totally.
It doesn't make sense. And you know what? But someone will try to justify it. And you know and I know some people will try to justify it. They'll try to explain it, all kinds of crazy stuff. And then you're like, how did you come to that conclusion? Oh, well, you're giving me a hard time. I don't owe you an explanation. I don't owe this or I don't owe that. So why'd you say it? And then it becomes an even bigger problem because it's like, why don't you shut up? And it's like, no, that's not what it's about. I need you to explain to me how you came to this conclusion and why you're so damn angry,
Exactly.
But they'll never share that, They won't
give you that explanation. They won't give you that explanation, or they'll tell you that because it was told to them, because it was told to their parents, it was told to their grandparents, it was told to their great-grandparents, it was told, to 5 or 6 generations beyond that. And, just because the same thing is told over and over doesn't necessarily mean that it is the truth.
Yeah, that's very true. And, one day it's going to all make sense. One day.
Yeah. One day it will all make sense. The folks will understand the nature of what it's all about, and folks will be like, oh, that's what I meant to say.
Right. But you didn't actually verbalize it in that manner. So now there's an issue, and what are you going to do to either correct it or make it make sense?
Yeah, and that's the key, is how to make it all make sense so that everybody's able to do what they've got to do and actually have it make total sense and not just partial sense.
Right. So, yeah.
But folks just have their ways of things, and they want you to believe their way or the highway. And oftentimes it's not their way or the highway. Sometimes it's got to be developed into a wider picture, and people have to have a broader understanding. I mean, one of the great things that they say about Malcolm was that, Malcolm X that is that he truly developed even a wider understanding of humanity when he went to Mecca and he looked around him and he was like, wait a minute, I've been calling certain people the devil forever, and there's some of those people that look like those folks that are right here with me at the same place.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
So then he had to, as we all during the course of life have to re-examine some of what has been the foundation of our belief system, because that we as people are always studying what's going on and reading what others are saying and just trying to learn on a constant basis, because the minute you stop learning, that's the minute that you are really in deep trouble, and because that's something we all have to do. I mean, not saying you can't have some mindless entertainment. I'm not going to say that there's not times that I don't pop on the TV and watch total mindless TV, because it has nothing at all to do with trying to better myself or learn anything great in the depth of the show. But sometimes you got to have those mindless moments as well. But at the same time, it is always good to be able to study what's on the internet, read what's in the newspaper, grab a magazine, grab the various other forms of media that are out there, and actually study both what has happened in the past as well as what is going on in the present, so that we can have a better future from learning both what's happening now and what's happening in the past, and moving on into a greater day.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so we're coming up on, what time is it, 8:20?
All right, we might just try to make it about 9. Yes, if we're not hearing from my bluegrass folks, I'll reach out to them and see what happened, and we might just do a rescheduling show, because I know next week we've got 2 guests. We've got your guest that will be coming on the show talking about his fatherhood initiative. We've also got the young lady, Michelle Gonzalez-Green, who will be talking about all kinds of stuff, because she is a public arts advocate and an activist and things of that nature. So we're looking forward to having both of those folks on the show next week, and who knows, we might even have some of the bluegrass folks, because I may reach out to them and see what's happened in terms of this week, and it might just be a hodgepodge show where we just have all kinds of conversations going on. You know, that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes it just becomes me and Dean talking about what's going on in the world, and sometimes Ty will jump in, or other guests as well, and sometimes it's the folks that are scheduled. But we might just see how it all plays out on next Monday. But either way, we know we've got 2 powerful guests for sure, and I will reach out to the bluegrass folks and say, hey, I thought you had it on your calendar. You must have forgot.
and we'll eventually get them in and
oh, yeah,
get on the voice of the people. And folks, when y'all are ready to call in and join the conversation, you can catch us here at 646-668-8393. If you missed the live taping and you want to get on the replays, then we are in syndication. We're on the, I can't call it the actual program, but we will post it on the page, because I'm thinking of like 7 different things right now. I know it's iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. We're there on Facebook. We're trying to be everywhere that you will click and you could possibly be. So, you know, we appreciate all of you. Yeah, we appreciate all of you for listening, tuning in, turning on. You don't always have to join the conversation, but as long as you listen and support, we here at the Voice of the People greatly appreciate you. So,
and drop that number one more time. Who knows? Maybe we've got folks listening today. Maybe somebody from Arizona, Nevada, New Jersey, New York. Maybe they've got something going on in their part of the world that they would just like to share with the rest of the listeners. So drop that number one more time, just in case anybody's listening and wants to call in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe they've got something going on in their world of entertainment. Maybe they're a musician. Maybe they're an author. Just got something they just want to let off their chest for a second or two about what's going on in the world, because we do love hearing from folks about what they've got going on and letting them get it off their chest. So if you'll drop that number one more time, and then I've got to give one more shout-out to a sports team that did a great thing right here in the Triangle area after you give that number one more time, because I definitely want to give them a shout-out before we get off the air.
Well, that number is 646-668-8393.
And the people that I was going to give a shout-out to is, I don't know whether you follow minor league baseball or not. They have won this before, but they did do it once again. But there's a team here called the Durham Bulls. Yes, that is the same Durham Bulls that a movie was made about called Bull Durham, or at least there was a fictional movie called Bull Durham about them based on an actual player and some actual things that happened. But the movie was fictional. But the team is right here in the Durham, North Carolina area. They took the title and won the Governor's Cup, meaning that they will play the team from the West Coast, I believe, later on this week to determine whether they are the AAA champions of the world. But they won at least the East Coast part of that, which is what we call the Governor's Cup. They won that this past week, and now they will go and face the team from the Pacific Coast to see if they can be the world champions in terms of minor league baseball on that level, the AAA level, which is the one right below the majors. So they have definitely made a major statement. They've done it before. They've won multiple times, but was glad to see that they did take that championship and won the Governor's Cup.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, and I also need to give a good shout-out to my good buddy, and I'm going to have him on the show very soon as well. But, anytime you go to a minor league baseball game, and I did not make it to one this year. I do not know if they're going to play any of the International League Championship at the home base or not. But if they do, I'll try to make it to that. But, most of the time when you go to a minor league baseball, there are multiple announcers. There are the announcers of the actual pitches and balls and the day-to-day, the regular action of the game. But, most minor league games also have side entertainment. It might be running the mascot, running the bull, what they call running against Willie the Bull, and it's usually a kid racing Willie the Bull, or it might be people dressed in sumo wrestling and things of that nature. And my good friend Jacoby is the voice of that. He is the voice of those contests and those little side things that go on at the ballpark. And he is actually organizing, I believe it is this month, so we might have him on in the 1st of October after his event is done, but he is organizing a video game competition. So that's right, if you're into video games and you want to get involved in that, I believe that it's all on the Durham Bulls website. If not, you can find Jacoby McDuffie on Facebook, but he is definitely putting this together. So if you think that you are the king of video games and that you can whoop, those different Call of Duty games or, the fantasy, maybe football or whatever other games, because he's got a multitude of games that you can compete against. This is your chance to prove that you are the champion of the video games.
Hey, sounds interesting.
I know you got some friends over there in New Jersey that are ready to make that trip. I know Ty's got some friends in Hawaii that are ready to make that trip to prove that they are the true champions.
Maybe, man. Maybe.
We can have him on after the competition so he can talk about that. But I believe the competition is coming up in about another week or two. So I'm helping him get the word out. So I just did that on this show, but I'll do it on some other avenues as well. So like I said, if you think you got those skills, go ahead and make your name known to the world of video gamers and things of that nature. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And I'll post it on our page, and I'll post maybe a list of even some of the games so that some of our listeners can take a look at that list and be like, yes, that's my game. I'm good at it. I'm ready to take them on.
Right.
So I'll definitely post that. And I'll also be posting some of the music of the Bluegrass folks. And like I said, we will reach out to them and find out what happened in terms of getting them on. But we will definitely have them on an upcoming show. But we're going to make this an abbreviated one. You got any final thoughts as we make this an abbreviated version of the Voice of the People? And then, like I said, hopefully we'll hear from our good folks, and we'll be ready for our full show on next week with all of those wonderful people, including, who knows, maybe some of the Bluegrass cats. Otherwise, we'll save them for early part of October. But you got any words of encouragement or words of thought to the fine folks that are listening?
The only thing that I really have is, regardless of what you may think, there are people who agree with you. There are some who do not agree with you. But without basic respect, there is no unity. So, let's start there with the basic respect. And once we get to seek first to understand before we can be understood, and maybe we'll get somewhere.
Exactly. We definitely have to have a greater understanding of those that are on all sides of the issues. So that's one of the things that you can hear at the Voice of the People is that while we may agree on certain issues ourselves, myself and Dean and Ty when she joins us, and some of the other folks as well, there are other times that we do not agree, and we are not one of those folks that think that you have to only be uniform in our beliefs. We like to hear from all kinds of folks. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to be bold and say, if you're one of those people out there, because, he did get elected, if you're one of those people out there that loves Trump and you want to call us and tell us why you voted for him, bring it on. We'd love to know. We may not agree with you, but you can bring it on and you can tell us why he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. We might laugh at you afterwards, but you can still bring it on.
Yeah, because I like sliced bread. Yes, but that's our time for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Voice of the People with Dean Geronimo and Mark Lee, 7 o'clock on Monday nights, blogtalkradio.com. We will see you next week.
See you next week. Have a great one.
It could be the point of letting go. It could be the point of it could be better. Letting go. One more time. It could be the point of letting go. Third time's a charm. It could be the point of letting go. No catch 22 point guards left. It could be the
money don't make money. Be your own boss.